My name is Peyton. I'm 31 years old, living in Austin, Texas, and I used to believe I was about to marry the right man. His name was Julian. 2 years older than me, a geotechnical engineer with calm eyes and a habit of thinking before he spoke. Julian wasn't loud or flashy. He wasn't the guy who lit up the room, but when he looked at me, it felt like I was the only one in it. We met 3 years ago at a conference on sustainable city infrastructure. I was covering the event for work, and Julian was part of a panel discussion. He wore a navy sweater and spoke quietly into the mic. But when I asked him a question afterward about water table shifts, he turned to me like I was the only person in the hallway. He didn't chase attention. He listened, really listened. And in a world that so often asked women to speak smaller, softer, he left space for my full volume. We got engaged last November, near the water's edge in Zilker Park. No flash mob, no hidden camera, just Julian, a breeze, and a simple question. Will you grow old with me? I cried because of course I did. We dove into wedding planning quickly, picked a cozy ranch venue in Dripping Springs, chose lavender and navy for our colors, had little debates about dessert options and seating charts. Everything felt like it was falling into place. When Julian said he needed to visit his mom in Oregon for a few weeks, I didn't think twice. She'd had a minor surgery. He hadn't been home in almost a year. I helped him pack, kissed him goodbye at the door. I'll call every night, he said. And he did, for 4 nights. Chapter 2: Echoes and Explanations. On the 5th night, I called him. It rang once and then stopped. I stared at my phone. Tried again. Voicemail. I waited. No message came. The next morning, one text arrived. Peyton, I need some time to think. I'll explain later. That was it. No I love you, no don't worry. Just a quiet betrayal in 7 words. I texted back, called, left voicemails. Nothing. Days passed. My stomach became a permanent knot. I called Julian's sister, Lena. We weren't close, but friendly enough to exchange holiday texts. She answered late at night. Lena, I said, is Julian okay? A long pause, then carefully. You thought he was with Mom? My heart dropped. He's not? I don't know. We haven't really spoken. I felt the world tilt sideways. He told me he was staying to help her recover. Lena hesitated. Maybe he just needs space. We're getting married, I said, almost whispering. Another pause. If he hasn't called, maybe he's not ready. The line clicked off. I sat frozen at the kitchen table for a long time. Chapter 3: The Trip to Oregon. 10 days of silence. On the 11th morning, I packed a small bag and drove west. Julian had once described his hometown: white fences, a lighthouse, a coastal path leading to a lavender farm. It took me nearly 6 hours to reach the town. When I pulled up to his mother's old house, my heart thudded like it was trying to outrun my body. I knocked. The door opened. There he was, standing barefoot in an old shirt, looking like he'd seen a ghost. Peyton, he said, what are you doing here? I think you owe me an explanation. We sat on the couch. The room smelled like cookies. Something about that made it worse. You disappeared, Julian, I said. He looked at his hands. I didn't expect you to come. That's exactly why I came. A long silence. Then finally, I ran into Claire. My stomach twisted. Your ex? He nodded. I didn't plan to, it just happened. And that made you ghost your fiancé? He closed his eyes. I was confused. I didn't want to walk into a marriage with doubts. Doubts? I laughed, bitter. You mean nostalgia? He didn't speak. I stood. I think you've had enough time to be uncertain. Now it's my turn. And I walked out. Chapter 4. Unraveling. The drive back to Austin was a blur. 3 days passed. No messages, no calls. On the 4th day, one bland line arrived. I hope you're okay. Would like to talk when you're ready. I read it once, laughed dryly, and blocked his number. It felt small, but important. My best friend Jess was the first to hear everything. When I said I don't think he meant to hurt me, she replied, Peyton, the deepest cuts come from those who don't even try not to hurt us. I told Noah, an old friend from college. He didn't even blink. If he can go back to his ex without telling you, he said, he doesn't deserve to know where you go next. Chapter 5. The Return. A week passed. Then one Friday afternoon my doorbell rang. I expected a package, but it was Julian, holding a paper bag and 2 coffees. I thought maybe we could talk, he said. I didn't move. You think you can vanish and just show up like nothing happened? I made a mistake, he said. Claire wasn't what I thought. You're what I want. Take off the ring. What? The engagement ring. Take it off. He did, hands shaking. I set it on the counter. You said I'm what you need, but you never asked if I still need you. Peyton, I'm sorry. No, you're just sorry it didn't work out the way you imagined. I opened the door. You had your chance. I'm moving forward, alone. He stood there a second longer, then walked away. I poured the coffee he brought down the sink. Chapter 6. Aftermath. 3 days passed. Then came a text from someone unexpected. Sophie, a former co-worker of Julian's. We'd shared group dinners, work parties. I heard what happened. If you ever need to talk, I'm around. We met at a cafe. Talked, just talked. No flirting, no awkwardness, just kindness. The next day, Julian showed up at my apartment, furious. You got coffee with Sophie? I stared at him. She's my friend, I said. You lost the right to question me. You know she used to have a crush on me. Then maybe she dodged a bullet too. He looked stunned. You're making a mistake, he said. No, I made a mistake choosing you. I pointed to the door. He left, slammed it shut. But the silence he left behind didn't hurt anymore. Chapter 7. Awakening. Julian didn't stop. I saw his car parked across from my gym, at the grocery store, even outside my apartment one night. I sent one message, Julian, I know you're following me. This is your only warning. Stop. The next day, he vanished. Finally. Weeks later, Sophie texted again. I declined. I needed clean air, not recycled attachments to the past. I signed up for an art class, painted my living room green, stopped apologizing for what didn't work. When people asked, I just said, I chose myself, because I had, not out of strength, but out of clarity. Julian was once my dream, but dreams without trust are illusions, and I finally Woke up